takes it as a personal challenge to go out and do it just to prove you wrong.
When I got home, I told my mother I was cut. I was demoralized. I didn't want to play any more sports. I felt like, the coach didn't like me.
And we both cried because I knew he wanted to really compete with the other guys. My words to him was, if you really want it, you work hard over the summer. And he did that summer. He focused. He would practice all day. That basketball never left his hand.
It might be said that Larry was the best basketball player.
I always felt like I was fighting Larry for my father's attention.
So I could take Larry out, and he was fascinated by fixing things with his hand, took a lot of pride in it. And Michael would be out, and you'd say, give me a Phillips screwdriver, he might give you a pair of pliers, I'd say, get back in the house with your mom. Boy, you're never going to be anything. Just go back with your mom.
I want that approval. I want that type of confidence. So my determination got even greater to be as good, if not better, than my brother.
The number one weapon in the NBA.
Converse had big players and told me we cannot envision you being put ahead of them. Okay, fine.
Did you have a shoe company that you wanted to go with?
That was Adidas. They put a time restriction on me.
Jordan with 10 points in limited playing time.
They had him on 7 minute per half time limit with a stopwatch.
Jordan. 10 pounds.
It's like, tweet, all right, Jordan, you're out.
Michael Jordan sat down.
He doesn't seem too happy to sit down. He's fired up and ready to go.
I don't know if Jerry came down from the stands to say, hey, get him out of the game, and there's like 30 seconds left.
31 seconds to go. Michael's time is up.
You play the game to win, period. So I don't want to hear about your draft pick. I don't want to hear about missing the playoffs and how good that would be. That's not how you play the game. From that moment on, Michael's relationship with the ownership and management was deeply soured. That never went away.
The game's about to start, and there was 2 other beat writers. Lacey's picked Cavs to sweep in 3. Ken's picked the Cavs to win in 4, and I picked the Cavs to win in 5. The game's just about to start. And Michael walks over to Lacey, and he points to her and says, we took care of you. Then he looks at Kent, and he says, we took care of you. And he looks at me, and we take care of you today.
The inbounds pass comes into Jordan. Here's Michael at the foul line. A shot on Eagle.
I feel very vindicated from when we started the playoff. The dim look that everybody was giving us. Even I asked you in the locker room, I asked everybody, what was the feeling back in Chicago? Did it write us off yet? And you said some of them have written us off. I said, well, tell those guys to stay home.
And so when he hits the shot, go home, motherfuckers, go home.
Get the fuck out of here. Go fucking anywhere, but you out of here. Whoever's not with us, all you fuckers go to hell.
The NBA was invested in making Michael Jordan its star. The Pistons were slowing that down.
Detroit had Jordan rules just for Michael.
The infamous Jordan rules, the Pistons' defensive tactics designed to contain their namesake, are enforced whenever Michael is on the floor.
As soon as he steps in the paint, hit him.
Chuck Daly. So this is a Jordan rule. Every time you go to fucking basket, put him on the ground.
How bad do you want it? Are you willing to be injured to score a basket?
I don't know how you came out of it alive.
We tried to physically hurt Michael.
Jordan had no place to go. Robert.
How legitimate was the hatred between those Bulls teams and those Pistons?
Oh, I hated him. And yeah, he carries even to this day. They made it personal. They physically beat the shit out of us.
Everybody in Chicago hated the Pistons. This was personal. Like, if anybody says it wasn't personal, it was personal.
Clyde the Glide says we're the 2 best in the game, but I'm not getting into a war of words with Mike.
Clyde was a threat. I'm not saying he wasn't a threat. But me being compared to him, I took offense to that. Based on the way I was playing at that time, it wasn't even close. So I attacked him every night.
Tony's certainly an outstanding young prospect.
Krause, he's willing to put someone in front of his actual kids who had given him everything that we can give him.
Before the first game against Croatia, Michael says, hey guys, Kukoc, leave him
for Scotty and me.
I love Tony Kukoc for who he is. But the way he was introduced to me and Scotty was, I didn't appreciate it, and it drove my energy.
Michael was so singular in his competitive drive that he could not bear the thought of wearing the Reebok logo on a global stage. So he covered the Reebok logo up with the United States flag.
Michael Jordan, the great.
Smith story, has anybody told you that?
LeBradford Smith had a game. I mean, he had a game of games. In Chicago, LeBradford Smith scores 37 points against Michael Jordan. LeBradford Smith, walking out of the gym, had said, "Nice game, Mike." And you knew that this wasn't going to go down well.
The next night, they play in Washington.
He said, tomorrow in the first half, I'm going to have what this kid had in the game. I've never seen a man go after another player the way he did.
Jordan scores 36 in the first half.
He took such umbrage at a guy saying, "Nice game, Mike," that he torched and humiliated him.
Where's the guard, Michael Jordan?
I knew that Jerry Krause loved Dan Martin. And just because Krause liked him was enough for me. You think he's a great defensive player? Okay, fine. I'm going to show you that he's not. I put it in my mindset that if I don't do this, then they're going to consider him on the same level as me. And that motivated me to attack. Yeah, Brian Russell. When I was playing baseball, Utah was in town to play the Bulls. I go over and say hello to John and Carl. And this kid, Brian Russell, comes up to me and said, "Man, why you quit? Man, you knew I could guard your ass. I couldn't. You had to quit." I said, "Carl, you need to talk to this dude, man." Nah, he's just a young rookie. But from that point on, he's been on my list.
Brian Russell on Michael Jordan. We're down to 5. Jordan putting moves on Russell. We're down to 2. Down to 1. Here's the skip. Jordan. Open. Chicago with the lead. Here at the United Center, and the Orlando Magic gets the victory. Look at Horace. They're booing him up on the shoulders, Bob.
That was one of Michael's lowest points when they came back and they didn't win. He hated the fact that the Horace was on the other team when they beat him. That's what he took to heart.
If you know MJ, as I do very well, only thing he was doing during the summer is having Orlando Magic on his mind. That's all. We didn't have a chance.
During the finals, we go out to dinner one night. George Karl's over on the other side, having dinner. Hey, there's George Karl over there. And George Karl does not come over and speak to him.
He walked right past me. Now look at my really? Oh, so that's how you gonna play it.
He just kind of went by, and I went, uh-oh, should have never done that.
You gonna do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that. And it became personal with me. Karl Malone get MVP.
Congratulations, Karl Malone, 1996-97 NBA Most Valuable Player.
So we knew immediately where this was going.
I'm not saying he wasn't deserving of it. All I'm saying is that fueled the fire in me and said, okay, you think he's the MVP? Okay, fine, no problem.
Krause wants to make the point, organizations win championships, not players.
Jerry Krause, the Bulls general manager, says, quote, "Organizations win titles, not players."
It sounded like he was making a very specific point to a very specific person.
Those guys who work in the front office, they were good people. But the most important part of the process is the players. So for him to say that is offensive to the way that I approach the game.
Jordan against Armstrong. Armstrong backs up to the sideline. Works off a D-box screen to the right wing. Pull up confidence. Oh! BJ gets the Hornets a 5-point lead.
BJ kind of forgot, what drives us. He woke us up if we were in a sleep, and we've been able to capitalize on that.
It shocked the Bulls 78-76 in Chicago to even that best-of-7 series at 1. And it was a former Bull, B.J. Armstrong, whose jumper with 18 ticks left sealed the win for Charlotte. After the reaction.
Let's see if all that trash talking starts when it's 0-0 instead of 5-6 point lead. That's where it starts. BJ hitting that shot and staring the whole bench down and whatnot, it just didn't sit well with Michael. And we knew we have woke Michael Jordan up.
Came after me in the rest of the series, especially that next game.
DJ Armstrong tonight only 2 points on 1 of 7 shooting.
That series with Indiana was the hardest playoff series we had. They were big, they were strong, they were physical.
If I had to pick a team that gave us the toughest time in the East, Indiana was probably the toughest outside of Detroit. They were tough. Every time I go in that fucking game and come out, I got a new scratch. It became personal with me.